How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to my Resident Evil 4 Remake All Collectibles guide. This is chapter 12. We are starting out by getting a small key. So for this one, we're going to have to head towards the area where the cable car is. We're going to have to go up this elevator for that. So come on over to the elevator and let's head on up. Quick side note, on this chapter we're going to need to do some backtracking, so don't head to the clock tower too early. I have a little cutscene here with Hunnigan. But yeah, we're going to have to go back to the courtyard sort of area and the Great Hall to get a couple of these collectibles. Because we can now access them, whereas we couldn't before. Also, there's an area that you wouldn't see if you just completely ran through and just tried to progress the whole way through the game. You will have to backtrack to see one of the areas. Alright, so that's a small key. Next up, we're going to grab the merchant request, which is Jewel Thief. It's just next to where the merchant is hanging out. Over here. Alright, so next up, we can sort out the merchant request. Disgrace of the Salazar family. Again, same place, right next to it. Alright, so I'm going to have to backtrack for that one in a little while. So for this treasure, we're going to have to head... I'm not sure what the area is called, but it's basically... I think it's the throne room. I think that might be what it's called. But yeah, this counts as a treasure, and we can also use it to complete one of the merchant requests. So let's head back this way, into the hive, and all the way around here. We'll be in a good spot. So keep moving this way. All the way back up here. I'll try my best to lead you there, just so there's no confusion as to where you've got to go. I'm pretty sure if you continue to the clock tower, you get locked out of this area, so it's important to backtrack now while we still can. Alright, so a bunch of enemies in this room. Deal with them, and then just keep heading straight through the door that we had to open using the unicorn horns. Keep going through. Right. So now that we're in here, if you head up the stairs and on your right, you can use the cubic device to go ahead and get the golden chicken egg. Another side note, if you've sold this to the merchant and you're thinking you're now locked out of it, if you go back to the merchant, you should be able to buy it back off him. Just so you know. Because I know you can sell these key items to the merchant once you're done with them. Alright, so for this merchant request, we need to deface the portrait of Salazar. So using the egg we just got, we're in the throne room still. Come up here, portrait is the one on the left, and we just need to chuck an egg at it. I'm not sure if other eggs work. I actually didn't have one, but I do have this golden egg, and because we've collected the treasure, it counts as us having it. And then we can use it to deface the portrait. I'm not sure if you have to use the golden one, but either way. Okay, so for the next merchant request, we're going to do the Jewel Thief one, for which we have to get the Scratched Emerald. This is over by the courtyard, just above where the merchant is the Scratched Emerald in a nest. You have to shoot it down and then go and sell it to the merchant. I'll keep mentioning this. You want to save your spinels and use them to buy weapon parts if you're going for the achievement where you've got to buy all weapons, all the weapons that he sells, and also the weapon parts like scopes and stocks and stuff like that. Alright, so back in the courtyard, we're going to head back and get an Ornate Beetle treasure. We need a small key for this one, and we haven't found one for quite some time, but we just picked one up, so we're going to head back and open up this drawer. I think this may be the last locked drawer that you have to use a small key to open. But we have to come back here where the troll thing was throwing boulders at us, where the armoured guy was. All the way back here. Look out for new enemies that have spawned up. Get rid of them if you want to. And just over here on your right is where you can find the locked drawer to get the Beetle out of. Sorted. An easy one to miss. Very easy to miss. Right, next we've got the 12th Castellan. We are over here by the merchant. back by the minecart. We're going to start heading over to the clock tower now. So jump on the cable car and all the way across. I could have sped this up, but I kind of like these videos to be, I guess, as visually instructive as possible. So you know where you're going, just as blatantly obvious as I possibly could. A little bit of looting on the way, why not? Plenty of pesetas. Alright, so when you reach this room, the Castellan is just in the back left, I think. You'll have a cutscene here with Salazar, skip that if you want to. And over here is the Castellan just sitting on this crate. So I think to your left after you grab that, like tucked away in the back corner, is also this treasure, but I'll show you from the steps of the clock tower. Just so there's no confusion. So yeah, here's where we picked up the Castellan. And it's just over here behind all these sandbags in this chest. Go ahead and grab yourself that. Alright, next we've got another treasure, which is an Alexandrite. Starting in that same place at the bottom of the clock tower. For this one, we're going to have to go right. All the way around here. Up these stairs. I think up the next set of stairs as well. Watch out for all the enemies that will be here when you're on your way up. And shoot down this lantern to get your treasure. Alright, so starting at the bottom again, we're going to get the mirror with pearls and rubies. For this one, we're going to have to go all the way up to the top. So watch out for all of those enemies. If you've done this part before, the section where the guy has the switch that's dropping boulders on you, that's where we're going up to. Just be careful not to drop down when you get up there off the ladder, because we need to stay up top to get this treasure. So let's go all the way up. Keep going, keep going. All the way. Again, look out for all of these enemies. If this is the first time you're coming up here, keep going, all the way up. And don't pull that switch, just come around here, don't drop down the ledge either, but the treasure is just in this chest right there. Alright, so before you go and pull the switch to move the elevator, make sure you grab this next treasure. If you don't grab it now, you won't be able to get it. So make sure before you pull that switch, you come and grab this treasure. So next up we have the achievement or trophy, capacity compliance. So for this one, we can't let any enemies drop onto the elevator. That'll stop it from moving. And we need to make sure that we keep it moving. So head on up. Have to pull in that switch, take out that guy at the bottom. He can be kind of annoying because he just kind of stuns you when he does his chant. So make sure you take him out. You can literally see these guys spawn in now. If you look about here, they'll spawn in. You can use this barrel to take out a couple of them and then shoot the other one right here. I'm using the Blacktail, and I think that's the handgun that's got the most power to it. It's not the most accurate. You can't use the laser sight with it, but it's a very powerful handgun I like to use. And keep your eyes peeled above you. Kind of always want to look a couple of platforms up just to make sure that none of these guys are jumping onto your platform. Alright, you want to make sure you're looking up there as well now. Sometimes they spawn a little bit early and catch you off guard just because of the height that they jump from. So right here you've got another one of those guys that can stun you with his chance, so pop as many bullets into him as you can. You can use that barrel if you want to hurt him. I also like to take out that guy that's next to him quite quickly because he can be a little bit annoying. You've got to be wary of what's going on above you here, because there'll be a guy with a shield right there. Can be kind of difficult to take out, and also the platform below that. To reload. So these two platforms are kind of what you want to be focusing on here to get rid of all these enemies before they manage to jump on. We're almost there. I think we need to just make it up to the platform that's yeah, right there, that one. Just look out for any enemies climbing up this ladder and the platform next to you as well. I'm sort of spinning around frantically. Yeah, once you reach this platform that we're just next to right now, yeah, you'll get your achievement sorted. Again, if you mess that up, you can just hit the checkpoint and try it again. Alright, so next up we've got the yellow diamond treasure. These are the most valuable of the treasures that you get in this shape. When you come down the clock tower here, you're going to have to either walk or crouch walk across these platforms. But the treasure's right there dangling off the scaffolding. If you run across this, you'll just fall to your death. So either way, you're going to have to do this. Just keep going. I like to crouch just to feel extra safe. And the diamond can be picked up. Sorted. And that'll get you the burglar achievement or trophy. I think that means getting all of the treasures in the castle or something like that. Alright, so next up we've got a yellow herb. It's just next to the merchant in this area before you get to the Salazar boss fight. So now that we're on the Salazar boss fight, you'll need to throw a grenade into his mouth when he's doing this sort of spitting thing at you. It can be kind of tricky because you pretty much want to avoid that when he's doing it. So, yeah, look out for his spit piles as well. Kind of got to wait for the right moment to do this, and I was trying a bunch of times to get this done, and it didn't always seem to work. It looked like I was throwing them into his mouth, but I guess there's like a specific way you need to do it, so I just kind of kept trying. If you've, you know, only got one nade or something, you might want to just keep it in the checkpoint to keep retrying. I think this might be the animation you wanted him in for it to work. But yeah, that's it. Hopefully the guide has helped you out for this chapter. The other chapters will be linked around, playlists and all that good stuff. Have a great day, and until next time, take it easy.